This is what I saw when the veil lifted. Today is a really special anniversary for me. This marks the day when the veil truly lifted for me, and it was the day that I took my first steps to freedom with the help of the divine. And I thought I'd kind of share what that was like and give a little bit more detail about what happened. So, leading up to this moment, I knew something big was coming. I had that feeling in my soul all day. And towards the evening, I'm out to dinner with friends, and about halfway through dinner, I started feeling this very interesting heat sensation on the right side of my body, then my face, and then my chest. And it was very warm. I felt around me, there was no source of heat. If I put my hand up, I couldn't feel any heat radiating either off me or in the direction of me. As I walked home with friends, we walked by a very strange character who seemed out of place. They were dressed in a long dark coat and strange hat, which was out of season. And they were just standing, not at a corner, but by the street in the middle of the block. As we walked by, there was something about this individual that gave my friends the chills. And this individual watched us as we approached him. And then as we walked by, my friend turned around and watched him continue to watch us after we had walked by. So a little bit strange. So I get home that evening and I can feel that there's a battle coming. But still, I'm living a normal life. It was a Wednesday evening. Nothing unusual. This wasn't a ceremony night, nothing like that. So I get in my pajamas, I'm sitting there watching some Netflix, having a piece of chocolate cake, and I hear a series of pops from behind me in my apartment, starting from the door, moving toward me. And I knew that these were the spirits who I had asked to help to free me from what I had been attached to. And I knew that they were there, and I knew in my spirit that now was the time. And in that instance, it was like I split into three different versions of me. There was still the me sitting there eating cake and trying to act normal. Then there was a version of me that went to war alongside the spirits. And then there was this middle version of me that held most of my attention, and this was the observer that watched the veil part. The pops and sounds behind me continued to intensify, and I started to see shadows moving all along my floor. And they were about the size, from the size of like a golf ball to like a tennis ball. And they were zooming around. The next thing I see are orbs of light that were a little bit bigger than the shadows, and they were this very soft, very gentle light. Like the type of light that if you saw it, you would think this is heaven. And they were chasing the shadows out of the apartment. They chased them under the couch and then out through the walls. And the orbs themselves, it wasn't just a ball of light. It was kind of smoky and iridescent around it, like it had things in its orbit. Kind of like looking at the sun when there's solar flares and those streams of plasma coming off of it. That's what these orbs looked like. And I instinctively thought, these are angels. I'm seeing angels in an energetic form. Then there were bright flashes of blue that were coming from my bedroom. And it looked like lightning. And I didn't get a great feeling when I saw these. It felt very eerie. And I know now, as I fully integrated after it, that these were the flashes of battle that was taking place. These flashes continued, and then it was like the edges of reality began to fold in on themselves completely. I was being taken out of time and space, and my apartment was overlaid by this white shimmering iridescent fog. And I knew again that I was seeing partly into the upper world. Once this happened, I began to feel activity again around me, and I could feel like a ruffling of my hair, which I had come to know as being a sign from one of my guides. And I've had this hair ruffle thing go on for years. But it intensified, and I started to get this intense pain right back here behind the left part of my head. And I know now that there are some metaphysical reasons for that, given what was done to me, but it felt like something was being pulled out. It's the only way I can describe it. And once it was pulled out, my crown chakra opened. It was like everything up here blossomed and opened up. And when it did, I felt this stream of love just pour into me. It was raw energy. It was tangible. It wasn't just an idea or an emotion. It was living frequency that flowed through me and through my space. At this point, I'm like, it's kind of time to go to bed. So I go into my bedroom. My crown is active. And I see behind me, like I'm looking forward, I'm actually on my computer trying to act like this is a normal Wednesday night. And there's this massive purplish flash that came from behind. It was so bright that I actually got out of bed and looked out the window to see if there were any storm clouds, and there was nothing. It was a completely clear, calm night. When I closed my eyes, I saw into the astral, and I saw the remnants of what had been attached to me floating around aimlessly, drifting. I also saw the spirits who came to help me. One in particular takes the form frequently of a beautiful feathered serpent. I also had visions of a wasteland. And to this day, I'm not sure exactly what that was all about. It wasn't hostile, but it wasn't benign either. But I interpret it then as being a place where those types of dark magical workings go to die. The energy continued to pour through me all night. I couldn't sleep because there was just so much energy moving through my body and my space. At one point, I got up and I looked out the window, and this is probably like the strangest thing that I saw, and I don't know what this was. Outside of my window, 19 floors above the ground, there was this massive black two-dimensional squiggle just hanging out there, which is wild. If anybody has any ideas what that might have been, I'd love some feedback. I sealed the window energetically just because I didn't know, and laid back down, still feeling absolutely amazing because of all of this love that poured through me. For the next 3 days, I had 1 foot in this world and 1 foot between worlds. So I commemorate today with deep gratitude to all of the spirits who came to help me, and all of the humans who stood by me and helped me, as well as the beings from the upper world, the angels and the divine. So I hope you found this interesting. For more, like and follow.